Welcome to the Jank Tank. I'm your host, Theo, who does not exist, Coyer, and today we have a special guest with us, Peter from Team Attack, Defunct Team Attack.
Speaking of things that don't exist.
I, I mean, we're still active in the community. We just don't like
Yeah,
produce
we're still
anything.
around.
Like,
Yeah,
I
we're still
mean,
around.
do we consider that Team Attack still existing? I don't
I
know.
guess people still consider us part of Team Attack, so why
So,
not?
Team Attack presents the Jank Tank.
Oof, oof. I
Yeah, all
mean,
right.
it's your Jank Tank.
Yeah, whatever. He is one of my contestants in the Nightcrawler competition, award competition. I need to think of a better name for it. Uh,
It's,
this is a 5-day old idea that is coming to life. So it's very Jake
I mean,
fitting,
I
actually.
think you're doing pretty good.
So, all right. I brought him in, so I'm going to ask him 4 questions. The first question: what brought you into verses?
Actually,
I know
I know
this
it
is, of
sounds
course,
dumb,
actually
but
you.
like we used to play OG versus, and you hooked me in way back in the day, and
Yeah.
then it was you that actually let me know that the newer stuff was coming out because you work at a game store. You're like, hey, it's coming back. And then all the Gen Con videos appeared and all that. And I'm like, oh, what's happening with all this? But yeah, like you hooked me in, and I was a fan of OG. I also played Jank like you. Like me and
Yeah.
you, that's all we would play. I don't think we actually played serious decks. We built them, but I don't think we really tried with them.
That was always
Um,
Carlos's thing. He always wanted to win.
and then when this hit, we looked at it and we're like, this is perfect. It's a great starting off point. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
All right. I actually knew question number one. You're going to be the only one I knew that one too.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
makes sense.
Question two. Why did you choose the character you have chosen?
Have you told your fans? I haven't gotten a chance to watch the video. I'm very sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no,
assuming
that's
you told
fine.
the fans what character I
I
chose.
mean, don't tell Mr. Ben, but I literally never listened to the build phase.
Um,
You don't think
well,
about
I
this.
chose Tigra in case
Nice.
anyone missed the video or can't needs a refresher. I chose Tigra because actually she's one of the biggest characters that stands out to me in the Civil War arc. Her and Hulkling, which I mean, the reason why they stick out to me is because of the double cross that happens. Spoilers for Civil War. There's a double cross. Tony
Surprise.
plants her in Cap's, anti-registration team. And Cap, when he goes, Tiger's been feeding us information, and Cap just goes, well, we knew that from the start. And so we put our own guy in. And Hulkling is a shapeshifter, and there he was. So, like, those two stuck out to me. And I was like, well, I got to pick one. So I went with Tiger. She
Yeah.
doesn't get any play, anyways. And we already have an Ant Man, so I couldn't choose Ant Man.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, when you said Tigra, I literally had to look and check to make sure, and I was like, no, we don't have it. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's worked at the Sanctum Sanctorum with Doctor Strange for a while. She was a member of the Avengers through the 90s, I want to say.
Yeah.
Um,
She's been that background character. Like you could always go to Tiger. Wasn't she like the babysitter for like Jessica JJ's and Luke Cage's baby?
for a short minute, I know it's Squirrel Girl now. I
Yeah,
mean,
but like when they
close.
first had it, wasn't that what it was? Like right before Secret Invasion or whatever.
Yeah. I think so. I think so.
There's some more comic book nerd stuff for you
Yeah.
guys.
But yeah, like I just don't see why we haven't had her as a character yet. It doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, neither does
She
not
seems
having
like
Nightcrawler, but
yeah, she's kind of up there. I'm
uh,
not exactly rooting for her like you are for Nightcrawler though. Like,
I've honestly given up on Nightcrawler. I mean, honestly, if he
the
shows up in
problem is
this
when you
set, I
fully
will
give up is
rage
when you're
quit.
going to see
If he
what,
shows up,
if he doesn't come on this.
no, no, if he
Oh,
shows up in this set, I'm gonna rage quit. Because not only did the X Men stay out of this because they were neutral, but then you actually give me
well,
him. I don't know what I'm gonna
that's the
do.
whole thing. He's going to come out, with no affiliation, and then you'll never be able to play him in a like format because they never allow neutral cards in a format.
All right. So,
That'll be your downfall.
well, this was a good team attack segue, or nonchalant rant that we just had.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
Yep. All right. So, If you were to make her character card, what would it look like?
Well, uh, I've actually thought about this a whole like 15, 20 minutes, long and hard. Um, Probably a two drop, 3/2 stats. I know that's not the best for a two drop, but I'd give her two life to kind of balance out that, lower attack, a little bit lower defense. But then I would give her leap and dodge to show like her cat like reflexes. Um, I know it's not the most sexy of card for the most, the real big versus community because there's like I was looking at here and there's great two drops, but like it's that perfect. There's not a lot going on with it, and it's great to teach new players because they can read it. Leap is just that single line of text. Same with dodge. It teaches you, I don't always have flight kind of thing, so this person can't block it. It introduces some new mechanics to newer players. That's how I'm kind of looking at these cards, these Civil War cards. Is how are these introduced to newer players?
Yeah, I mean, when you told me about her, I took a long time thinking about it too, and I mean, I don't
I
think
mean, like,
there'd be a better card out there that would fit
that's the whole
her.
thing. Is like, yeah, like I could. I mean, you could make her like a 7, but I mean, I would really have to start digging into like her backstory of why she has this kind of stuff and such. And it's like I want something that you can look at and be like, oh, Tigra. Oh, she has like dodge, so she's dodging because she's she's part cat because of
Yeah.
tiger, and leap because she's jumping. Okay, I can be on board with this. There's a little bit of flavor in there. Now I'm sorry if she doesn't leap high or dodge very quickly. I'm sorry, comic book nerds. I'm very sorry.
I mean, no, actually, I did a lot of the research on her. Um, Side note, apparently there's a group of cat-like people that like gave her her ability through some sort of ritual, I think. It's very strange for her background.
Mm, okay.
But yeah, no, I think especially with this set being fairly simple, uh, and more appealing to new players, I think that's a really good two drop.
Yeah.
And then for the final question, how does it feel to be in my weird contest? You,
I read it and I was in instantly. Like I think you told me I was like one of your first.
yeah,
Like I'm totally. I mean, I love weird costumes or weird contests like this. Sorry, I was looking at a picture of Tiger and that was a weird costume. But yeah, like like as much as I love going to tournaments, I love things like this that are like use your brain and like look through the what do you think Danny and Ben are not going to put in? What do you think they will put in? And with Civil War being so open,
yeah. There's
like
so many characters that could
I
be
mean, we just saw
squeezed in.
Ultra Girl. I don't know who Ultra Girl is.
Yeah,
Like, I think I want to look her up right now before
that's kind
Carlos
of.
and just do research.
I was about to say we're like day three as of this recording. There have been 3 days of spoilers, and everyone survived, which is
Oh,
astounding considering they put Ultra Girl in. I was like, who?
she's half human and Cree. Okay, that makes sense.
And she apparently has extrasensory powers that allows her to look at your opponent's hand. Which, full disclosure, give me more characters like that. That's a cool card.
She was a new warrior, so she was probably on that team.
She was a new warrior, huh? Because she wasn't on the team that caused Stamford. Because that was Microbe, Namordia, Speedball. Which, by
She,
the way, John, good luck not having Speedball in here. Because he said Speedball or Penis as a disclosure.
yeah.
And who was the last one?
She was a new warrior before like everything happened,
Okay.
and then she was apparently outed.
Ugh.
Like she was a secret Avenger, which makes sense
Yeah.
with her card.
But yeah, so a little background of what happened with this contest. I couldn't fall asleep one night, and I just thought of this. And initially, my idea was opening it up to the whole community, which I then figured that that was a horrible idea. And so I asked some people if they wanted to join in, and then I asked a few other people, and that's how I got my 4 contestants.
Nice. So you didn't really. I don't think you really opened this up to the public. You just kind of wanted to see
My
how this
initial
went. I
my
think.
initial idea was having it open to the public. that was not. I mean, if I did that, I would have to. I didn't know how to handle prize support, and so
Well,
I
that and
decided
like,
to restrict it to a smaller community.
and if I remember correctly, you like you started talking about it like about 2 days before we were supposed to start getting our first spoilers.
Yep, it was.
And
It was
if you would have
a
put it out to the community, you would have had to deal with all of those on top of it.
yeah, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, and if we keep getting, big events like this, like I don't think Dark Reign was on the. I think Secret Invasion was on the list. Maybe I don't know. I
Possibly.
can't remember what the other was, but like Secret Invasion would be a great one to do this kind of with too.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Um, and yeah, I mean, I that was all of my questions. So I guess, I mean, I'll clearly have you back on if Tigra does get revealed, and then we can kind of compare the two
I'll be
cards.
angry. I'll be angry. I wanted to win, even though you live like 5 minutes away from my house, and any kind of prizes you make, I can easily be like, you should make me some too. The whole
That's
point is I
yeah.
want to win them.
Well, I mean, if you win, you get Tigra. So
Ooh,
yep. That
that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I guess if you haven't watched the video, you don't know. I'm gonna make proxy foils playset for
Nice.
everyone,
Oh my
and
god.
so far the only one who's in running to get the MC Nightcrawler that I'm gonna make is Mr. Ben, because his character has been featured on a card and doesn't have his own card yet. Because that's like the true Nightcrawler is.
That is true. That is very true. So what you're saying is I could be in the running because Tiger. There could be definitely. I feel like there's going to be a defection plot twist
Oh yeah, there could be.
because that was a huge turning point. That was right before they fought. But
Yeah, and considering how much focus they're putting on plot twists so far, I mean,
I
we've
really
already
like their
seen
plot.
what, like four or five?
Uh, there's four just in the newest spoiler. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably five.
that's a lot for a base set with two teams.
Well, but I have a feeling like we may be out of plot twists already
That you could be right.
because well, there's two regular for each side, and then I think the one that was on the ad was a neutral plot twist.
No, I thought that one was an Iron Man one.
It could be an Iron Man one too. Like that would make sense.
Yeah.
So that means Cap still needs one. Cap's team needs one more to balance out. But
So that's three plot twists per side. That's not bad.
yeah, that's about what we get in average,
Yeah.
except for like ones that give us equipment. And who knows? Maybe Cap has an equipment one that we don't know. Like maybe
Yeah,
I don't want to say shield. I don't want to say shield because I think that's too specific.
I honestly, the more I think about it, if they want this to be a good starting point for new people, they might actually include more plot twists than characters. Because
Well,
there's no generic ones and
I
things
know I
like
know
that.
this is not the platform for this, but I would like to see at least one equipment in there so then players can see all types of cards now.
Yeah, that would be something nice to have something like that in there as well.
Even if it's something simple like shield paddy wagon for like pro, like it's just something simple.
Oh, we definitely got off on that tangent again. The team attack tangents. Oh, but all right.
Wonder, oh man, I just thought of another one that may or may not make it in. It's gonna bug me.
Oh, I mean, I already chose Micromax for mine. There's also Widget.
Maria Hill.
Oh, she was a big cape killer.
Yeah, like she tried to arrest Cap and he
Yeah,
busted out the helicarrier. And then
yeah,
he flew the pilot down and took him to get burgers because he's Cap.
yep,
There's so much I remember about Civil War.
yeah.
I've read that graphic so many times though. It was one of the best.
It was. And that was when they started doing the big hype behind everything. And they still
Yeah.
do, but it only worked with like Civil War and I think the Secret Invasion. The rest of the stuff just
I
I don't
think
know.
by then the big hypes were starting to die down. Like we get it, Marvel. You're going to have an event like every like 6 months. It seems to me.
Oh yeah, especially now with like the House of X and Powers of X and
Yeah,
the Fear itself, Civil War 2. Like,
I want to like I like Civil War 2, and it's probably very controversial, but that's because it's got one of my fave characters. It surrounds one of my fave characters of Captain Marvel.
yeah,
So, and Miles is like a huge plot point, so that's always a good thing too.
like
Granted, he's
Miles.
a bad plot point. Yeah.
Oh, I
Um.
I'll admit you probably know more
Did you
about
ever
comic books than me right now because I have fallen from the grace of reading them.
did you ever read Civil War 2?
I know that it was about being able to predict the future and Hulk
Yeah. So
not
like
and
Miles.
Hulk dying and Hawkeye killing him.
Yeah, you basically covered it. You're good. Because it's basically the argument of if we can see the future, even though it's not like set in stone, should we still act on it?
Yeah. Also, the
And for
plot of
once,
Minority
Iron Man was
Report.
like, "No, we can't do that." And everyone's like, "Wait, Iron Man, aren't you the one that's like wants to do this kind of stuff?"
Yeah, it seems out of character for him. But all right,
Yeah. All right.
we will end it
Tangents.
here. Uh, I will possibly invite you back if your card gets spoiled. Otherwise, um,
Anytime you want to invite me on the Jank Tank, I will come talk cards with you, my good sir.
yes, this was fun. But thank you for coming on. I
Thank you
don't
for
know,
having me again.
but all right. So I guess you have a great rest of the day, and hopefully your character will win, lose. I'm always confused. Like, and it's my own contest, so I shouldn't be confused. But like,
But
I
you
guess,
don't want to root. You don't want to seem like favorable to me because we were teammates, that kind of thing. I get it.
well, I mean, the thing is, like, I could have
You want
four winners on this contest, right?
Yeah, I was
But
about to say
like,
you want
but if
everyone
they
to win, but
if they win, that means they don't get the character in the arc, and isn't that a loss? But if they get the character
well,
in the arc, then they don't get the card, so that's a loss, right?
don't go cross-eyed thinking about this.
I think I've gone cross-eyed.
All right, Theo.
All
I'm
right.
cutting you off.
You have a good night, Peter. Thanks for coming on. And until
No
next time, this was
problem.
the Jake Take.